Hello and welcome to Things to Write Home About. In this video, I will be talking about the top 2 questions that I get asked as an immigrant. Number 1 question is, where are you from? When people ask this question, sometimes they mean, where do you live? Other times they mean, where do you hail from? As in, where were you born? Where did you grow up? So it could vary. Most cases I answer, I come from Uganda. It's a funny thing because when I had just come to this country, I never used to tell people that I was from Uganda. And I will tell you why. When I had just come into the U.S.A, right? At that age, which is 16 years ago, I used to tell people, oh, I come from Kenya. It was the funniest thing ever. Looking back, I don't know. Actually, I know exactly why I used to tell people that I came from Kenya. And the reason is that I always looked at Kenya as a cool place, the place to be, because Kenya is right next to Uganda. And Kenya is coastal. So they have the ocean. And I've always been in love with water, even before I knew why. So when I would get asked, where are you from? I would tell people, I'm from Kenya. To my naive 17-year-old brain, Kenya being coastal seemed more international, hence why I wanted to be associated with the country next door. Alas, I can see clearly now, and I come from the Pearl of Africa. I say that loud and proud. I love my country. I love my motherland. That was a lie. I'm not from Kenya. I am from Uganda. So these days, regardless of what they mean by where are you from, I tell people I am from Uganda. The first time I went back to Uganda after moving to the US, my perspective changed. I saw my country in a completely different light. I fell in love with my homeland, and I came back changed. I came back in love with my culture. I came back wanting to learn more about my culture and about myself as a Ugandan woman, as an African woman, and to integrate that into my daily life here in America as an immigrant. So when people ask me now, where are you from? I tell them, I am from Uganda, East Africa. The top most comment that I get when I tell people that I'm from Uganda is, wow, that's so cool. So they actually want to know more about Uganda and about my culture. Sometimes I get people that say something like, oh, Uganda, is that where Idi Amin is from? Now, when I was younger, I never used to mind. But these days, the Idi Amin comment is very old. I don't even know Idi Amin. I was born way after the era of Idi Amin. So what am I going to tell you about Idi Amin? That he was a dictator? Everybody knows that. But anyway, the top second question that I get asked as an immigrant is, why did you move to the US? Most immigrants will not ask that question because they already know why, as immigrants, we moved to this country and why, as immigrants, we moved to countries abroad. That question usually comes from the average American or European, or maybe somebody that has grown up here and has absolutely no idea about the immigrant experience, which is fine. I don't blame them. At this point, I've been asked these questions so much that I have my answers ready to go, so that in case I get asked, where are you from? Obviously, that's easy. I come from Uganda, East Africa. I was born and raised there. I like to emphasize that part. Second question, why did you come here? I simply tell them my father had been living here for a while, so he applied for my brother and I to come. That's my rehearsed answer, always, because growing up in Uganda, I have both Ugandan parents. I'm, as we say in Uganda, konk Ugandan, 100%. I love it. So when people ask me, why did you come here? I say, I came to join my dad. Or I say, I came to study and work here, which is the easiest answer that I can give. It gets deeper than that, obviously, if you want to start to peel back the layers of why do you come here as an immigrant, and we can talk about that. So on this channel, Things to Write Home About, I want to share my experience as an immigrant living in the United States of America. How that has changed me, how that has changed my perspective on the world and on life in general. Third question I get asked, bonus. Third top question I get asked as an immigrant is, do you like living here? That's easy. I tell people I love living here. I love living in America. Why wouldn't I love living in America? Look at me. I'm over here chilling outside in the sunlight with snow all around me. I grew up looking at snow through TV screens, and now I get to see it with my naked eyes. So I love living in the US. I also love being from Uganda, East Africa. So I love having the experience of both. Having the experience of growing up in Uganda and now living here in the US, and being able to travel back and forth. I love traveling. I love exploring culture, differences, and what makes us beautiful as a people, as Africans, and as human beings. Those are the top 3 questions that I get asked as an immigrant living in the U.S.A. I want to share more about my experience. Maybe I inspire somebody. Maybe I add some value to somebody's daily experience. Or maybe I get to educate somebody who is curious about the immigrant experience. I am excited to make these videos and to share them with you all. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video on things to write home about. Please do subscribe, leave a comment, like the video if you feel like you can relate or you've learned something or there has been some added value to your day or your evening. That's it for today. Thank you.